Hello everyone, this is Cherie, and I watched a classic Disney animated feature every day for a week. And the reason for this was my friend at work was getting rid of all of his old VHS tapes. Now, when I go house sitting, I have access to VHS players. So I thought, bring them on. I'd love to see these again. I haven't seen them since I was a kid. And then the other reason was I have started buying a lot of Pixar, Marvel, and Disney DVDs, and inside each are these little cards for rewards. So, what you can do is you can redeem them. If you have 350 points, you can get a mystery DVD. And I've done this a few times, and I received a classic Disney film. I also received a Renaissance Disney film. So let's get started in the order that they were released. The first one being Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This is the very first animated Disney feature. It came out in 1937 and it is an hour and 23 minutes long. This was based on the Brothers Grimm story, and the story adaptation was written by Ted Sears plus 7 other writers. The logline is, exiled into the dangerous forest by her wicked stepmother, a princess is rescued by 7 dwarf miners who make her part of their household. This was so fun to rewatch. I mean, the animation is just so beautiful. I love the songs. I love the characterizations of the dwarfs. I mean, that's really making each of your characters have their own thing. Literally, that's their name. Uh, and, it just had such a good spirit about it. I also liked how scary parts of it were. The forest, the face in the mirror, those were all just really great things about this. Now, what did I not like so much about Snow White? She's a Mary Sue. I mean, she's too good to be true. Also, the thing about the stepmother just being so vain that, she wants to kill Snow White, I mean, that's pretty extreme. Also, there's the love at first sight thing. She meets the prince when she's singing into the wishing well, and he comes up behind her and he sings the last, phrase. And because of that, it's the kiss of love that brings her back to life at the end, and they just don't even know each other. Oh, and then the last thing that I wasn't too keen on was that there's just a lot of little bits that don't really contribute to the story. Now, this was very common with a lot of early Disney stuff. The more recent stuff, they are really getting into story, and everything that happens relates to the theme and the character. But back in the old days, not so much. But still, I mean, this is just such a charming movie. You can't really fault it. So I would definitely recommend Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. The next movie I watched is Pinocchio. Pinocchio came out in 1940. It's an hour and 28 minutes. It's based on a book by Carlo Collodi. And again, the story adaptation was written by Ted Sears and 8 other writers. The logline is, a living puppet, with the help of a cricket as his conscience, must prove himself worthy to become a real boy. So I just loved the songs in here, and actually it won 2 Academy Awards, one for original score and one for the song When You Wish Upon a Star. And I believe that's the song that's most associated with Disney these days, When You Wish Upon a Star. So yeah, great songs, great animation. It looks different than Snow White. It's got its own kind of charm. I actually think this might be my favorite style of animation of all the ones I watched in the classic series. And the Blue Fairy. When I was little, I wanted to be the Blue Fairy. I loved her sparkly gown and just, her blonde hair and her just pleasing voice. And even like when she was upset with Pinocchio. Like the way she said it was so nice, you know. And also, I love that it has a nice cat, Figaro, because usually in cartoons, cats, are demonized, and I'm tired of that. Not all cats are evil. I'm so glad they made a cute little cuddly cat, Figaro. All right, and so this stuff that I wasn't as happy about, again, passive protagonist. I heard in the book he was a much more kind of bad character, but Disney didn't kind of want that. So, you know, this Pinocchio allows stuff to happen to him. The thing about the nose, with his nose growing, I thought that was more of a huge part of the story, but it only happened in like one scene. They could have done more with that. And I don't know if the book had more of that in it. Other than that, this is just a really fun movie. The Honest John character reminded me of Fagin, like if Pinocchio was Oliver Twist. Yeah, this was just charming. I loved the animation, especially for like all the woodworking stuff that Geppetto did. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Pinocchio, highly recommend. The third classic Disney film I watched, and this was the final one from the Golden Age that I watched, Bambi. Bambi from 1942. 1 hour and 10 minutes. It was based on a book by Felix Salten, and the story direction was by Percy Pierce, or Perce Pierce, I'm not sure which, and the story adaptation is by Larry Morkey. I'm not sure about that last name there. The logline is, it's the story of a young deer growing up in the forest. And that's pretty much what it is. Bambi is really light on story. This is really for young kids. Regardless of the mother dying thing. I mean, the kids need to learn early that people die, so that's fine. So the good stuff I found about this was the anti-hunter and pro-animal message. Being a vegetarian. Yeah, I like that message. The cute characters. Oh, all the animals were adorable. Also, they had this kind of expressionistic watercolor type forest. Again, a different animation style. All the animation styles change for each movie. And yeah, just beautiful stuff here. But, I really I don't like slice of life stories. They're just not my thing. So the plot's kind of meandering. It goes through all the seasons, and I guess that's what they were trying to show. There's the central conflict is man, but man only plays a part a few times throughout. So yeah, I wish the story had been a little more solid, but it's nice to watch. There's also the Disney thing about kings and queens and princes and princesses being like great things to you want to aspire to be a princess or someone who can marry into royalty, and I just these days royalty is just not a necessary thing. I know we still have royalty on the earth in 2021, but everyone's born equal. No one's better than anyone else, and we shouldn't have these things that say because of your birthright you're better than someone else, or you get so much more money and stuff like that. Anyway, off my soapbox. Oh, and I say that because Bambi's the prince of the forest. So even Bambi had a royal title. All right, and now we're going into the Silver Age. Next up, Peter Pan. Peter Pan. Sorry, there's so much glare. It's really hard. That's the thing about these cases, these VHS cases. By the way, kids, so this is what a VHS tape looks like, and it's actually got real, let me show you, tape inside that goes through a machine. That's how you watch movies. That's how we watched movies in the old days. All right. Anyway, sorry, I digress. All right. Peter Pan. 1953, 1 hour and 16 minutes, and it's based on a play by J.M. Barrie, and the story, again, was written by Ted Sears plus 7 other writers. So the logline for this one is, Wendy and her brothers are whisked away to the magical world of Neverland, with the hero of their stories, Peter Pan. The song, The Second Star to the Right, was actually originally written for Alice in Wonderland under a different title. And if you listen to the melody, you can kind of get that it would have fit into the Alice in Wonderland movie just fine. So I love the songs in this as well. I love the complex Tinkerbell character. Actually, a lot of the people were more complex than usual in a Disney film. You know, Captain Hook, even the Wendy character, and even the dog was great. I love the flying animation and just on a tangent, the dark ride in Disneyland. I love flying through that. It's just wonderful. I love feeling like I can fly. My best dreams are when I'm flying. What I didn't like was, okay, the female jealousy with Tinkerbell between, being jealous of Wendy. I mean, like, Tinkerbell's magic. Like, does she really have to feel jealous? Wendy's just a human. There's that thing. Then the parents are really dumb. They're written really dumb. And I know it's common these days to have like a dumb father in animation. That happens a lot, like The Simpsons and Family Guy. But man, I mean, the father was horrible and the mother was also horrible, maybe just a little less so. They were just really stupid, and parents aren't like that. All right, and then let's get into the real problem. The racist Native American characters. There's a song in there called What Makes the Red Man Red. When I was little, I loved that song. I probably shouldn't even be saying that because it's so un-PC. Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes you wonder, what are we doing today that like 50 years from now, people are going to be saying, I guess 70 years from now, people are going to be saying, oh, they were so racist or they were so whatever. But yeah, so that's the unfortunate thing about Peter Pan. But it's just a fun movie. It really is. So again, I would recommend Peter Pan. The next movie from the Silver Age is Sleeping Beauty, and this is one of the ones that I got as a mystery DVD. I have not seen this, probably since it was in the theater. No. Well, I guess if they re-released it, because it came out in 1959. It's an hour and 15 minutes, and I just thought it was charming. I'm actually going to keep this DVD. It was based on a story by Charles Perrault with an adaptation by Erdman Penner. The logline is, after being snubbed by the royal family, a malicious fairy places a curse on their daughter to die on her 16th birthday. It's kind of funny, the parallels between the evil queen in Snow White and Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty. Even the colors they wear, the black and the purple. Now, what I enjoyed about this one was the comic relief, the three good fairies, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. And quite honestly, Sleeping Beauty's not really the protagonist. She doesn't do much. I mean, kind of, this is a problem that a lot of these early Disney movies have. But if you're thinking about who's really taking action and moving the story forward, it's the three fairies. They're kind of like the main protagonists of this. I loved the dress they gave her. Oh man, I wanted that dress when I was little. Now the cake, the layered cake, I loved that so much that I begged my mom to make me one for one of my birthdays. So she got one of those 3-layer pans so you could have a 3-layer cake. Yeah. The music by Tchaikovsky from his Sleeping Beauty ballet, just beautiful songs. I Know You. Now the bad part, I already kind of mentioned, the passive protagonist. And then again, logic leading to her death. You have another petty villain, just like the one in Snow White. Maleficent is angry that they didn't invite her to the christening. Okay, so that means you killed a baby? I mean, what is wrong with these people? And this is another one where it's like the love at first sight thing, and the true love's kiss, and like uh, she's singing a song in the woods, and the prince comes and he finishes the last phrase just like in Snow White. But still, I like it. I'm keeping this. And the penultimate video, 101 Dalmatians. This came out in 1961. It's an hour and 19 minutes. And it was based on a book by Dodie Smith, and the story was by Bill Peet. The logline is, when a litter of Dalmatian puppies are abducted by the minions of Cruella de Vil, the parents must find them before they are turned into a fur coat. Sorry. I laugh at tragedy. So this art style, it was mid-century modern. And a new technique they used was the Xerox. And that could make copies of the background so they didn't have to hand draw it for every frame. And it saved a lot of time and money and probably lost a lot of people jobs. I'm not a big fan of it. I like the hand-drawn look personally. But let's talk about the good first. The dog network. I love how the dogs were communicating to each other, so they could go long distances and they could get the messages across. I just thought that was charming and lovely. Yeah. Cruella de Vil, great villain. And yeah, what she wants to do is really mean, but if you think about all the other fur coats that we make, again, vegetarian here, I try not to buy leather or fur. If, maybe inadvertently I bought some, but, I really look out for that kind of thing because I don't think we should kill animals for just a coat, But yeah, good villain. And the song Cruella de Vil, that's a cool little song. Now, here's the problem is the main character, the father human of the dogs, his profession is a songwriter. There's only one song in this Disney film. Disney always has songs. This one only had one song. The guy's a songwriter. Okay, it was a great song, Cruella de Vil, but come on, Disney, give us more, give us more. Anyway, just a side note, I saw Cruella in the theaters and I really enjoyed it. So much more than I thought I would. So I really like that movie. I would recommend that one more than I actually would recommend this one. Sorry. And the final classic film that I watched from the Silver Age is The Sword in the Stone. I had never seen this before. And quite honestly, I never want to see it again. It was really boring. I did not like it. Anyway, 1963, 1 hour and 19 minutes, based on the book by T.H. White with a story by Bill Peet. The logline is, a poor boy named Arthur learns the power of love, kindness, knowledge, and bravery with the help of a wizard called Merlin. I just thought it was boring. I mean, it was so lacking in story. They were all just little bits and bobs. The animation was really lackluster. They used that Xeroxing technique again in this movie. And there were no memorable songs. So what did I like about it? There were some cute, funny bits of business. And there was a character named Madame Mim. I liked her. She was fun. Other than that, though, so this was the last animated film before Walt's death. He died on December 15th, 1966. So no other films came out within those 3 years. Yeah, kind of a sad note to end on, but look at his legacy. And I think he was really more involved with the parks and with like Epcot and all that stuff at this point. So, we're lucky though that Disney had a renaissance, that Disney has this new era now. Well, I mean, they bought everything, so they have like all the best stuff. So out of the 7 films, there are 4 that I would recommend. You've got your Snow White, you've got your Pinocchio, you've got your Peter Pan, and you've got your Sleeping Beauty. There we go. So anyway, it was fun. I'm really glad that I got to revisit these and in the case of The Sword in the Stone, to just see a new old Disney film. And be on the lookout for my review of the Renaissance films. I did watch 7 of those in a week as well, and that video will be coming out shortly. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!